Vanessa, let's go with a rainy night. Yeah. And this.
Excuse me, sir. Captain Hayes said she wanted to speak to you as soon as possible.
Did she say why?
No, sir.
Well, it probably has to do with last night's patrol activities. Thanks a lot, Chief. Lisa's attention to business stuff is beginning to get on my nerves.
Just make sure they don't let too much time go by before telling him, I mean.
Boy, is she ever hung up on him. He's coming.
Oh, hello, Wraith.
Here's my complete report, Captain, with my compliments. Will that be all?
Rick,
Captain, I said, is that all?
Rick, what do you mean?
I don't want to take up too much of your time.
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with me? I just came in from an all-night patrol, and the first thing I hear is to report to you. Don't you think I understand military procedure? Well,
Just give me a chance to explain.
and another thing, Captain Hayes, my personal life is just that, personal, do you understand? Whoever I choose to speak with does not concern you.
I understand.
Like Vanessa here, for example. Am I right or not?
I really don't think I'm...
Hey, why don't we grab a bite to eat?
Please, Captain Hunter. As you can see, I'm still on duty.
So what? You can still play hooky, can't you?
If you'll both excuse me, I've had just about enough of this.
I don't think that was a very nice thing to do.
And why not?
It's obvious, sir. Captain Hayes just happens to be in love with you. That's why not.
You mean Lisa is in love? And with me? You gotta be kidding. The only thing she's in love with is her job.
And to think I was trying to apologize to him. Ha! I'd rather apologize to him than try.
I just don't understand. What's the problem with her?
Oh, it was just a lover's quarrel, that's all.
It seems so obvious that Captain Hayes is in love with Captain Hunter, but she doesn't have the courage to tell him about it.
That is really ridiculous. Why doesn't he just be a man about it and tell her that he loves her too, huh?
Has it ever occurred to you that perhaps he doesn't share the same feelings on the subject that Captain Hayes does?
If he's got a heart at all, he's got to realize how she feels about it.
Maybe not.
Well, if I felt that way about a man, I'd just come right out and tell him about my feelings.
I know, but you do that to almost every man you meet.
Hey, you know, the only reason we're laughing is because it isn't happening to us.
The only other man Lisa ever loved was killed in action.
This makes me so mad
Oh, it's so sad.
Night falls.
And Vanessa Leeds giving Rick Hunter the business. The coolest Rick Hunter.
This is Rick, the jerk arc.
Yeah. And Melanie McQueen, who couldn't be here. Just that's awesome. I just love that scene. This is the character interplay right there. I mean, they're not talking about, aliens and space battles. No, they're talking about, he's being a jerk to her, a total jerk to Lisa. And he gets called on it. And I just love how that scene plays out.
No, it was fun. We were talking earlier about how I don't like watching these older. I have trouble watching the early episodes because I was so new at this, and now I'm a director, and I can hear every mistake. It just makes me cringe. But this was actually not one of those scenes. Actually, this was it's just finally because he's asking if my voice has changed much. But yeah, it's like
that was pretty late in
to me. All I'm hearing is like this little tiny, where I have a lot more voices now, and it's just weird to hear that long ago. And I don't think I sound like me anymore. I don't think you sound like that anymore.
No.
It was you sound like that.
Yeah.
So it was that was really cool to watch. Thanks.
Am I on?
Great
No.
performance.
Great.
Lovely work.
Thank you. I just remember, it's such a different way of recording now. Technology has advanced so much. We're in a digital format now. We used to be analog. And we would have to wait for the equipment to catch up one reel to the other with a special links instrument that would bring all of the elements together so the tape itself didn't stretch. and affect and artifact the sound. And I'm listening to how much we're all projecting. And we don't record like that anymore. Now we get very close on the mic and we reduce our volume. If we get very loud, the engineers usually still want us tight on the microphone, but then they use the faders to bring down the levels on their side. So it's a really different format. We were all so new. We were inventing this core group of Hollywood dubbing actors, and we all helped each other to get better. We often were able to be together in recording sessions and observe each other. And I know I was a sponge taking all these guys in. I was the new kid. And I was just so grateful to be there that I was learning on the job, and I think we all were. And we were sort of inventing it too. We also invented a certain kind of notation for the way that we prepare our scripts, which was borrowing heavily from musical notation. So there's a big difference in the way we work now. Now you get 3 beeps and you start on the imaginary 4th beep. Then we were watching SMPTE time code rolling by in real time, and you had to grab that time code and speak at the right time. If your line was perfect, but it didn't line up with the mouth or the lip flaps you were saying, you had to do it again. Today we can slide those little wave files into place. So it's a very different time.
So what do you think of Vanessa laying into it?
I don't remember Vanessa being so assertive. I'm really kind of impressed with all the feminism going on
Yeah,
here.
she was protecting Lisa though.
Yes, she
about
was.
that, yeah.
I mean, really, there was a whole lot of girl power happening from Min-May Scene to the Bridge Bunnies.
But that makes sense. Look, at the time, American animation, especially then, was still very character oriented. It was still very voice oriented, and they didn't have a lot of relationships. And Carl allowed the relationship drama to happen here, which for me that was brand new to see in animation. I'd never seen anything quite like that. I actually walked up to Carl after about the 4th session, like, "Can you explain the show to me? Because this is really different."
Well, that's when they said it was a soap opera.
Yeah.
And they had told us
Space
that
opera.
for some time before we actually dug into it. But we've been hearing it was playing in prime time 5 nights a week in Japan. And we thought, what animation would possibly stand up? Because at that time, animation was strictly for kids. Clearly, we have all changed that. The demographic is from A to Z, and we all share it with the generations that follow. And that's all thanks to you guys, our fans.